Guys, so I am 7 weeks and 3 days today. And what has changed is I went to the eye doctor today, and I am currently, or I was, I guess, before the appointment, a -6 in both eyes. I've had glasses since I was in grade school, and I've had contacts since probably around 6th grade, I would say. And so I'm pretty familiar with the process, and that I have bad eyesight. But this time I went, and I had my last appointment was probably about 6 months ago, and they changed it to the -6 in both eyes, which wasn't that big of a change for me. But I've been noticing I'm having trouble seeing the TV from the couch, and I've just noticed that my vision has gotten worse. So of course we've had blood drawn, and we've seen the baby. We've seen the baby again, which will be my cover for this video. But so it was really just the hormones. My body swelling, water retention, blood volume going up, causing my vision to go a little bit bad. So today, in one eye, I was -7.25, and the other I was -7.5. So I'm not sure if it's going to go back after I have the baby. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to buy a cheap pair of glasses and wear those throughout my pregnancy. And then if I still have issues after the baby, then I'll change my whole prescription and get new contacts. But I have 2 boxes of brand new contacts that I just bought in -6, and I really don't want to have to deal with it. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's been a rough 7 weeks so far. The last couple days I've had a couple breakdowns. My hormones are definitely still very strong, but at least the last Monday and Tuesday were rough. Yesterday wasn't too bad, and then today's a little bit better, and that's why I decided to do the video. So the nausea is no longer 24/7, but when I do have it, it's to the point of where I'm actually throwing up, and it's normally bile, because I don't really get hungry until probably about 1-2 o'clock now. So it's definitely turned into morning sickness, but I don't actually throw up until noon, and then I can eat, and then I'm pretty much good for the rest of the day, with little spurts of nausea throughout the day. But it's kind of where my nausea is at right now. That's really my only symptoms. I don't really feel very pregnant, other than the increase here, and I'm very tiny. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but I'm pre-pregnancy, I was about 110 pounds, and I'm about 113 now. But I don't know if it's the bloat or what it is, but my stomach's definitely showing. It's unavoidable at this point. I knew that I was going to start to show a lot earlier than most, just because I'm very tiny. So that's kind of a given. But other than that, everything seems to be going good. My specialist, at our last visit, he looked at the baby, and I was measuring perfectly at 7 weeks, and heartbeat went from 118 last visit to 135, so he was really happy with that. And he said that my chances of miscarrying are significantly lower now, and that he feels comfortable enough to send me to my regular OB. So I have an appointment with my OB. I'm going to take it. I have an appointment with my OB when I hit 8 weeks, so that'll be Monday. So we'll get to see the baby again, and then they have to do their own prenatal panel and workup, and all of that fun, interesting stuff. So and then I won't have another ultrasound until 10 weeks, and that's when I get to discuss birthing plan and all this other stuff. And that's when I actually meet the OB. I've met him before. A couple times when I was trying to conceive. I started at this clinic when I first started to conceive, before they ever pushed me to infertility. So this baby has taken 3 1, 2, 3, 4 OBs, 3 reproductive endocrinologists to make. So it's been a lot of work, and I feel like it's going to be harder from here on out. I don't feel like it's getting any easier. Pregnancy is definitely rough. It's a lot of patience, a lot of sickness, a lot to deal with mentally and emotionally and physically. But I mean, of course, if I was going to get pregnant, I was going to get all the symptoms that I could possibly have, because that's just how things work with me. I went to the ER twice. I don't know if I talked about that one time. It was around 6 weeks, so I don't know if I got to talk about it. I went to the ER for dizziness, and they basically told me, like, oh, it's just your hormones. I want to say that was maybe a little bit before 6 weeks, so maybe I did talk about it, but my HCG was at 30,000, and then I ended up going back via ambulance because I was driving, and I don't know if it was because my vision was getting worse or what, but I had a panic attack because I couldn't see. I thought I was going to pass out, so I ended up pulling over and calling 911 because I was in the middle of the interstate, and I couldn't drive to anywhere. So they took me to the ER. They checked everything. Everything was perfectly fine. They just said it was probably just anxiety or my hormones. And that was definitely after 6 weeks. I want to say maybe 6'3" or 6'2". And my HCG jumped to 130,000. So my HCG levels are definitely that of between 8 to 10 weeks, I think, at 6. So I'm definitely measuring ahead, but there's still only one baby in there as far as we can see. There's not even a slightest hint of another sac in my uterus. So it's definitely just one, but you wouldn't believe it with my levels, my symptoms, and my belly. So who knows, maybe baby B's hiding or something. I'm not really quite sure. But as of right now, we just have one. We're doing the blood gender test at 9 weeks. And then we're doing a gender reveal May 14th, I think it is. So that'll be fun. So I won't know until the gender reveal. So, but we're going to get the testing done a little bit earlier than that via blood test. It's supposed to be very accurate. We're going to be using SneakPeek gender reveal. So we'll see. I know that if they get it wrong, they will refund you 100% after delivery. So I'm not really sure, but that's that. I've kind of been spending a lot of time at my parents' house just due to the anxiety and the depression that I've been battling, and the nausea, definitely the nausea. While my husband's at work, he works, he normally works 7 to 5:30 or sometimes 6. He works pretty long hours. So it's just kind of nice to be over here and to take my dogs over here. They're just across the street, so it's not that big of a deal. Zara, you want to say hi? No, we just want the toy. Here they are. They're being very good, very protective, very calm around me, so that's good. But I hope you guys can hear this. I'm kind of talking a little bit low because I'm at my parents and I don't want to be shouting. But let's see, I think that's probably roundabout all I have for you. My next video will probably be somewhere around 8 weeks, so I would assume, hopefully, if I'm feeling up to it, I'll do it that Monday at 8 weeks, but if not, then it might be a couple days behind, just because I'm kind of going as I feel. If I don't feel too good, then I'm not going to make the video, but I will make our 7-week ultrasound this video cover, I guess is what it's called, and I'll show you guys my belly. So this is kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at right now. It might just be bloat, but that's that. I still haven't got to hear the heartbeat actually. They've seen it, they've recorded it, or they've measured it and seen how fast it was, but I haven't actually got to hear it yet. I've been using a stethoscope because I haven't wanted to use a Doppler just yet. And I still can't really hear anything with just the stethoscope. I mean, I kind of hear faint, but nothing really to say like that this is the heartbeat. So hopefully on my 8-week appointment, I'll be able to hear it. Maybe because it's an actual OB, they'll do things differently there. But other than that, I think that's all I have for you guys. So stay hanging in there with me, and we'll get through this together. So anyway, thank you guys who've been there since the beginning, who have seen me struggle, and who have finally been able to celebrate this moment with me. It's gonna be tough. I know that these next couple months are gonna be really rough for me. I'm hoping that second trimester is gonna go a lot easier. And if I'm feeling up to it around the end of May, which will be a couple weeks into my second trimester, we plan on going on a vacation, something just kind of small, maybe just like a week, which I guess isn't that small. Probably going back down to Daytona. I used to live in Daytona, and I really miss it a lot, and that's kind of where we're wanting to buy a house. So we'll probably go down there and visit some of my friends and things like that, and kind of get away from everything before we start to really dive into having this kid. So other than that, that's all I have. One thing I'll include is that according to like a Ramsey theory, based on my ultrasounds, it's looking like we're having a boy. When I first got pregnant, I felt like I was gonna have a boy, and then it's kind of been back and forth. I've kind of been like, oh wait, maybe I'm having a girl. Kyle is dead set on a girl. He thinks I have a girl. He wants a boy, but he's thinking we're having a girl, so who knows. But as I said, we won't figure out till gender reveal May. It's like the second weekend in May, like May 13th or something. So okay guys, well, I'm really gonna head out this time. I will keep you updated around probably the beginning of next week. So thank you.